point, about Brexit and Brexiteers, I would say, Douglas, and maybe I'm very provocative about it, but I want to challenge that everyone who voted for Brexit for the very same reasons that you did.
Absolutely,
I don't think
they
you
did.
can
Yes,
speak
they
for
did. You
all
have
the
no
Brits
clue what
that
you're
you
talking
would
about.
call the majority.
I don't claim to. I simply refer to the opinion polls that prove what I just said, which is that sovereignty was the fundamental issue that united the British people on the 2016 Brexit vote, and that it shouldn't be dismissed, it should be understood. There is always a remarkable thing in political science, that people are the thing that they accuse other people of. I've heard tonight nothing but an endless set of claims about what Europeans should be, and they all seem to have to be like Flavia, otherwise they are right-wing populists. This claim that this is exactly what the right-wing populists do is precisely what you have spent the evening doing yourself, which is to say anyone who doesn't agree with me is not in touch with the deep people of Europe.
Good.
I don't think that's a reasonable way to go forward.
So Douglas, I'm really sorry. I'll suggest that we quit the insulting game for now.
No, I wasn't at all insulting. I was simply making a point against an error by my opponent.
And can I just clarify that I came here invited?
And then we go to the audience.
I was invited here for a debate, and as much as I know about debates is that each of the debaters prepares a speech. I did it, you didn't. I was expecting your view to be presented this way, so I prepared myself this way. So I'm still hoping I can hear more.
In order to hear more, we will go to the audience. I see one question over there, one over here. So we have two ones, right? And then we wrap up. Yes.
First off, thank you to both the speakers and the mediator. The debate so far. I actually have a question to Flavia. Yes. If I misquote you or misphrase you, please interrupt me. But during your speech, in the beginning, you said that one of the things you admired, or one of the liberal ideas you stand for, is that we don't have to agree, and that's the beautiful thing of liberalism. Then one of your final quotes was, I don't have a problem with conservatives unless they attack liberal institutions. The liberal point you stand for is that we can disagree, and that's a good thing. And in that sense, it's also okay with you if you disagree with conservatives. And you draw a line when they attack liberal institutions. And I don't mean to be annoying, but I'd like an example of a liberal institution that you don't want to be attacked. You say, well, I draw the line at attacking institutions. And since that's apparently the line of free speech or debate for you, then I would like to know where exactly this line would be drawn according to you.
Yes, thank you so much for this question. Just to maybe illustrate more clearly what I mean by liberal institutions, or the values I want to see protected through the work I did, it's kind of the carpet we're on, and as long as we remain on this carpet, as long as we don't attack really the simple basic, values, which is, for example, equality before law. Exactly.
Okay, so not necessarily formal institutions such as the European Union or...
No, it really as well as this, but thank you for this question. So again, if I get back to the case, because I explained it already,
No, you really didn't explain yourself, okay? You give all these things. She's about name an institution. Okay, you go back to a law or some policy. That's not an institution. Give us an institution, not a law.
People who don't have a Swiss citizenship, but who would, if I as a Swiss would drive 2 times too fast within 10 years, I would get a fine, maybe 100 Swiss francs. And if somebody with no Swiss passport would be expelled out of the country, if that law would have been accepted. So for me, this is clearly, living in Switzerland is not equal before law anymore. And, this value in the Constitution should...
That's just plain stupid. There must have been a reason why they decided. Somebody just... unless for very, very reason, but somebody comes up with an idea for a law to pass and says, you know what, so is this a big problem with foreigners? With people that may be illegal in Switzerland, illegal aliens? I don't even know if they have them, if they don't like those terminologies. Who gives a crap? I'm saying it. So let's say they've got foreigners that are there, don't have a Swiss passport. Is this such a big problem that somebody said, you know what, we have a tremendous amount of foreign people here that don't understand our driving laws and are causing problems? Are they causing huge amounts of accidents? Are they causing, deaths or, whatever? What's the reason behind this? And you know what? She's saying equal before the law. You know what? I don't know. I would probably take a look at that law and say, you know what? Wow, that's pretty harsh. You don't have a Swiss passport. Now, I might basically say that if you were an illegal and that happened and you got caught, but the first time I think you should be gone. Now, if you're there legally and I think there should be some maybe leeway, for the judge or the advocate to make a decision. How fast was the person going? What was the reason behind it? What's going on right now? I don't understand the time limit on. I mean, there's a whole bunch but that's again not an institution. That's just a law. There's a lot of laws that she might not that are equal, and they shouldn't be equal. Citizens should have everybody should be under the same law. What I'm saying, but if you're a citizen of a country, that shouldn't make it that you can't write other laws that basically give more, all the rights should be attributed to citizens. And there should be some rights given to people that are there as foreigners or as immigrants or whatever. But once they become citizens, they form part of that compact, then they fall within that category that they should have full access to all those laws. But that doesn't mean that if you're an illegal alien, if you're a foreign person, in a country, and you want a law passed simply because for you it's going to help you, but it's not going to help the citizen of that country, I don't agree with that. But that's something Flavia, she wants equality, open borders, equality for everybody, no matter what. Then what's the use? Why even have a Swiss passport? Just get rid of them. Don't have any passports, nothing whatsoever.
Would not make a difference whether you are a Swiss citizen or whether you're not a Swiss citizen. And so that's where actually I start to disagree and where I strongly fight for this liberal value or institution, I would call it in a broader sense. Do you understand better what I meant by my argument?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for clarifying with your question. We have another one up there. Yes.
Between Flavia Kleiner and Douglas Murray. But once again, like Douglas said, this is exactly, I did not hear anything in terms of Douglas basically saying that you're a leftist, socialist, Marxist, Democrat. I am using those terminologies to describe her. And if I was in a debate, that's exactly the words that I would use. But I would not say offhand that everybody that speaks that way is evil incarnate or whatever. Or that they're, rising Marxists or rising, I don't know, whatever, the way that Flavia talks about rising populists. The fact of the matter is that there is a completely difference of opinion from those that have the thinking of Flavia, who look at a globalist mentality. They're looking at the whole world is basically open to everybody. There should literally be no boundaries. There should literally be no countries. Europe is fine, but you know what? Not really, because Europe doesn't really associate itself with Africa, or Europe doesn't really associate it with the Mideast, or Europe doesn't, do things that are going to help other countries or whatever. And they're not inviting enough. They're not helping enough. It's just a Europe by itself. They just want to stay Europe. They just want to stay. And the whole thing stems is it's all down to either money or race, folks. That's what this boils down to with the politics of Flavia. They inject the money into it. They inject the race into it, ethnicity, demographics, bigotry, all that stuff is what they do. But her big thing is, you've got to be open to the whole world. But she talks about the individual. But if the whole world thing in openness is going to affect the individual, that's perfectly fine as long as the policies are leftist, socialist, Marxist. Now, that's what a society wants it to be. If that's what a country within it wants to be, that's the way they vote, so be it. But that's not what's happening. And what he was talking about, Douglas Murray, was with that Brexit vote and everything, the people within the United Kingdom in Britain said, you know what, we want to be sovereign. We want to be ruled by people that we can elect and that we can unelect. We don't want to be ruled and given policies and laws and rules and commandments by people that are outside of our nation, that are basically giving us edicts and laws, and they don't have a single clue as to what it means to be British or to be a part of the United Kingdom. They're doing these things to be part of a global community. And we want England, we want the United Kingdom first and foremost for its own citizens. Then we worry about everybody else. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Let us know in the comments below what you think. My final thought is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.